Okay, and now moving on to part B in problem 2. So problem 2b says, from the original production point, farmers transfer 40 million acres of land from corn to wheat production. They now produce 3.158 billion bushels of wheat and 10.107 bushels of corn. So again, the 40 million acres isn't very important here. What is important, however, is that from their original production point, which was 2.158 billion bushels of wheat, that was what we had from the beginning, they moved to making 3.158 billion bushels of corn. And then from the original production point of 11.807 billion bushels of corn, they moved to making 10.107 billion bushels of corn. So, you know, as is typical when you have a production possibility frontier, they've gained in one area, in the wheat area, and then they've lost in the corn area. And so what this problem is saying is, you know, imagine we have our production possibility frontier. It's not exactly straight, but we have this is wheat, this is corn. How are we going to be able to tell whether this is feasible or not feasible or efficient? Well, remember we started with the original point, 2.158, 11.807, and they told us that it's efficient. So that means that wherever that point is, let's say it's right here, okay? And this is the point 11.807, 2.158. That wherever this point is, it lies on the production possibility frontier. And remember from part A that the problem told us we have increasing production, increasing opportunity costs, which means that we have a production possibility frontier that looks kind of like this, okay? So what this is telling us is that from this point, we've experienced a gain in wheat, okay, and we've experienced a loss in corn. And what we need to say is, using the opportunity cost that they told us exists, right, this opportunity cost here that they told us exists at this production point, where are we in relation to this line? Have we moved, you know, so we obviously experienced a gain in wheat, but have we, it's possible we've moved way, you know, we haven't lost enough corn to get us back on the production possibility frontier, so that we're out here, which is not feasible, right? It's also possible that we have lost way too much wheat for that gain in, we've lost way too much corn for that gain in wheat, and so that we're somewhere over here, which means that we are feasible, but we're not efficient. It's also possible that we have lost exactly the amount of corn that we needed to lose in order to get us back to the production possibility frontier, so that it's both feasible and efficient. So what's going to tell us where we are is exactly the opportunity cost. So we're going to go back and we're going to pretend like we don't know where we are. Okay, we don't know that we've moved from we don't know that we have moved from 2.158 to 3.158. Let's just focus on the fact that we've lost. So my first question, which is the same as in other questions we've done, is what have we lost? Okay, so we know that we have lost 1.7 billion bushels of corn. Now let's pretend we don't know how much we've gained in wheat. But let's ask the second question as we usually do. Let's say, okay, well, if we were following the opportunity cost, what have we gained? Or in order to gain, what is the gain that's associated with a loss of 1.7 billion bushels of corn? And remember that this is where our opportunity cost comes in. And our opportunity cost tells us, which is up here, it tells us that if you lose 1.7 billion bushels of corn, you gain 1 billion bushels of wheat. Now let's pretend again. So now we know we have lost 1.7 billion bushels of corn. And what the opportunity cost is telling us is that as a result, we have gained 1 billion bushel of wheat. And what point is this new point? Well, this is exactly the point. We take 1.7 away from 11.807. So this is exactly the point 10.107. And we've added 1 to 2.158. So this is the point 3.158. And that's exactly what they told us we were producing, how we changed our production from the original production mark. And so we're exactly back onto the production possibility frontier. So this production point is feasible and efficient. So if you had, for instance, like an economist, and you were, say, the President of the United States, and he came to you and said, hey, you know, we're moving from 2.158 billion bushels of wheat to 3.158, and as a result, we've reduced our corn from 11.807 to 10.107. You going in and doing the calculations, knowing the opportunity cost of your economy, will go back to your economist and say, you did a great job, you changed it exactly the way that it was supposed to be changed, and we are on the production possibility frontier. Congrats. Okay, in the next video we'll do 3C.